Okay, so picture this. You're taking one of those, one of those perfect slow walks along a beach.
The kind where you're actually looking, not just strolling.
Exactly. You're looking for something the tide left behind. A message in a bottle, maybe some driftwood, or just a really interesting shell. Now, hold that image
Okay.
and ask yourself this. How often do you really, truly stop and think about the inner mechanics of your own consciousness?
Right. And at first glance, those sound like two completely different worlds, don't they? I mean, the very mundane act of beachcombing on one hand.
And this huge, profound mystery of the human mind on the other.
Yet the whole idea behind our deep dive today is that these two worlds aren't just related. They might actually be governed by the same core design principle. We're going to focus on one of the smallest things you might find on that walk.
The periwinkle snail.
The periwinkle snail and its shell.
And most people would just see that shell and think, ocean snail. That's it. They certainly wouldn't see a roadmap for the duality of human consciousness.
But that is exactly what we're going to unpack. Our source today describes it as a most remarkable symbolic symbiosis.
So our analysis is based on excerpts from Periwinkle Dreaming. It's by an artist, author, philosopher named MacKenzie from the book Homage to the Stars by Day and by Night.
And MacKenzie's whole argument is that if we really look at the architecture of this tiny creature's home, we can get these incredible insights into how we regulate our own inner and outer lives.
So that's our mission today. It's pretty straightforward. We're going to unpack the periwinkle shell, its parts, its structure, how it works, and then map that onto our own bodies and our own consciousness. Starting with the shell's physical structure, what is it mechanically that makes it such a perfect analogy?
Well, it really comes down to its efficiency, its robustness, and just its incredible evolutionary simplicity. MacKenzie focuses on how the periwinkle has evolved these three primary interdependent elements.
Interdependent, so they all need each other to work.
They're all vital to survival. So first you have the external, really tough, calcified shield, the hard outer shell. That's its portable vehicle.
Its fortress.
Its fortress, exactly. And then inside that, you have the inner soft living core. That's the creature itself, its life force, its nervous system, its center of being.
Okay, shell and core. But the third element is the real key to this whole metaphor, right? The part that makes it so much more than just a house.
That's the one, the operculum lid.
Which is basically its front door, a little protective flap.
A front door seal, to be precise. And this isn't just some simple flap. This is where you see nature's engineering and, well, mathematical perfection just converge. The operculum is designed as a hermetic spiral seal. So if you look at it really closely, you can see it's been carved by the currents of nature into a very specific shape.
The Fibonacci spiral.
The Fibonacci spiral, the famous golden ratio right there in this tiny shell.
Sometimes called the tiger's eye, I think.
Yeah, depending on the species and the coloring, that's right. And that specific design ensures a perfect watertight seal every single time. And its function is, well, it's existential. The whole point is to protect that soft inner life from all the violent external forces, crashing tides, predators, you name it. When that operculum is sealed, the creature is in its own private, contained, internal world.
So it's not just about protection, it's about regulation. It can literally shut down all the sensory input from the outside world.
Exactly. It can achieve undisturbed, peaceful rest, even while a storm is raging just outside its shell.
But that brings up the duality you mentioned earlier. It can't stay sealed forever.
No, it would starve. It has to come out.
Right, so the operculum isn't just a door, it's a, what does the source call it? A relay switch.
A relay switch, a perfect term for it. It has to open routinely so the inner creature can come out, move its little vehicle around, eat, mate, travel.
So it's constantly, automatically toggling its whole operation between two states.
The external natural world of action and the internal protected private domain of rest and recuperation. And this toggling mechanism is it's elegant, and it's perfectly reliable.
And it's that reliability, that perfect rhythm that MacKenzie uses as the mirror for the human experience.
Precisely. Which brings us right to the next step.
Mapping this onto us, onto the human apparatus. MacKenzie calls the periwinkle a beautiful metaphor for the duality of human consciousness.
The cycling between being awake during the day and being in our subconscious state.
And the physical parallels at first are pretty obvious.
They hold up immediately. We humans, we have a robust biological body. Our skin, bones, muscle, that's our shell. It's our vehicle. It protects us out in the world.
And inside that shell is our unseen inner life force. our consciousness, our mind, which directs the body.
Telling it what to do. The correlations are 1-to-1 so far.
Okay, that part is easy to get. But then you hit the big structural question. If the operculum is the critical switching mechanism, do we have one? Does the human body have a physical part that's analogous?
And this is where it gets really interesting, because MacKenzie gives this provocative answer. Yes and no.
Which sounds like a cop-out at first.
It does, but it's not. Oh, it's deeply compelling. The Fibonacci pattern on the snail's little door, it isn't just decorative. It's a blueprint for efficiency.
And that same blueprint is found in us.
It's woven into our biology, into our shell. You find it in the scroll-like structure of the cochlear ear, which is how we process the external world. It governs the fractal branching in our lungs, how we take in air, our life force.
And even the source says the DNA helix itself.
Yes, the actual geometry that governs the helix, the master blueprint for the entire human body. It follows those same mathematically efficient principles. So the pattern of the thiel is physically present in our structure.
So the blueprint of the spiral is there, but that's the yes. What's the no part of the answer?
The no part is that for us, it's not a single physical door you can point to.
So the essential philosophical link isn't a body part. It's the mechanism, the protective seal that acts as the switch between our two worlds. That's where the real depth of the metaphor is.
Absolutely. We have to move past the visible physical shell and into the invisible mechanism of consciousness.
Okay, so if our body is the shell, the vehicle for the day world, what is our metaphorical operculum seal? What is that switch for a human being?
According to MacKenzie, it's that mysterious automatic process of falling asleep.
The transition itself.
That's it, that reliable transition into the inner world of dreams, the subconscious level of consciousness. It's the moment the external world is symbolically sealed off.
That makes a lot of sense, but I have to ask. I mean, sleep is a lot more complex than a simple on-off switch, right? And for a lot of people, the switch fails. Insomnia. How does the metaphor account for that?
That's a crucial question. And it's why MacKenzie really focuses on the sheer reliability of the natural switch. The argument is that for any biological creature, this is meant to be an inherent functional process.
It's supposed to work.
It's supposed to work. Think about it. Consciousness lives in these two states, awake for action and asleep for rest. There has to be what the source calls an intelligent switching mechanism that just lets us slip between those realms every day, automatically.
And we really do take for granted that it just works 99% of the time.
We do. And that automatic, effortless, cross-world switching process. That is what MacKenzie defines as the operculum bridge.
The operculum bridge, I like that.
When we fight sleep, or when we can't sleep, we are essentially resisting the innate function of that bridge. A periwinkle doesn't try to seal itself. The environment dictates the need, and the mechanism just handles it.
So what's the function of the bridge itself in this metaphor?
It's fundamentally restorative. It's necessary. It enables us, the sleeping creature, to rest, to recuperate, to restore that vital life force. The inner core needs that sealed off time.
And the bridge is dependable? It brings you back?
It reliably and dependably returns consciousness to the awake state, refreshed. It's the perfect tidal rhythm of our inner world.
That's such a great image, tidal rhythm, because it connects right back to the periwinkle. It lives on the shoreline, literally between two worlds.
Between the land above, the external world of air and sun, the undersea, the constant flow of the ocean.
And it's constantly toggling between them like a pendulum swinging with the tides.
And that is a perfect mirror for us. We operate in the day world, on the land above, and then we sleep through the night world, closed within our dreamscape seals.
So when you're asleep, you're symbolically entering this subconscious realm. The source notes that some shamans call this the undersea, or an underworld. What does that specific term imply?
It implies a hidden, flowing environment, a world defined by deep, unseen currents, where the rules of the surface world, the land above, are all suspended. The undersea is where raw processing and restoration happens, away from the structured demands of being awake.
And the operculum bridge is what carries us safely back and forth.
It delivers us back from that subconscious world to the land above, to awakened consciousness, revitalized by the rhythm of these day-night tidal forces.
Okay, so the bridge is functional, it's for rest and restoration. But what about another term MacKenzie uses? The magnetic core. What does that refer to?
Well, the poem says when we turn at night, our seal is magnetized with light. The term magnetic core connects our inner life force to this idea of a universal energy.
So it's not just a passive closing off.
No, it implies the sealing process is an active alignment with vital restorative forces. When sleep engages, it protects and concentrates the body's internal energy, the magnetic core, and lets it recharge.
So it's a very holistic view. It's not just about brain activity, it's about a vital energy source that needs that dependable seal to maintain its charge.
Exactly.
It really transforms the idea of sleep. It's not just an absence of activity, it's this essential automatic process. A hermetic seal for recharging that uses the same ancient blueprint you find in a tiny shell.
And the reliability of that mechanism, that pendulum swing between action and restoration, is what we really need to pay attention to. When you see that inky shell on the beach, you're looking at a testament to a life force that successfully navigated that perfect rhythm for its entire existence.
Which brings us to the philosophical instruction that the author leaves us with. The mandate is, next time you find an abandoned periwinkle shell, don't just kick it aside. Stop, hold it, and pay homage to the life force that once inhabited the empty shell. Acknowledge that incredible design and the perfect balance it achieved.
And the MacKenzie encourages one final physical act to really seal that connection between the shell and your own body. Take the shell and put it up to your ear, specifically your Fibonacci-designed cochlear ear.
The very same spiral structure that processes sound waves.
The very same. And if you listen with the slow, soft gentleness of a snail,
I love that phrase.
MacKenzie suggests you might just hear it. You might hear the invisible currents flowing across that operculum bridge, the sound of the subconscious.
Lapping wisdom from the shores of the dreamscape. Wow, that's a perfect image to end on. It brings the whole mechanical and philosophical journey together.
It really does.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.